Live from WTOC, the Southeast News leader. The News Now starts on WTOC Plus.
Welcome to The News on WTOC Plus. I'm digital anchor Jude Bankley. Tensions are high in Minneapolis this afternoon after a woman was killed by an ICE officer yesterday. Federal and local officials are at odds over what happened and why it occurred. CBS's Usher Karasi is there with details.
Quit your job! Protests this morning outside a federal building in Minneapolis, where residents are demanding justice after 37-year-old Renee Good was shot and killed by an ICE agent Wednesday.
Saw the video. I just totally thought it was murder, plain and simple.
That video shows Good backing up in her car as an agent tries to open the driver's side door. As she begins to pull away, another officer draws his gun and fires multiple rounds, killing her.
It was an act of domestic terrorism.
The Trump administration blames Good. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem claims Good had been stalking agents all day. State and local leaders say ICE should leave Minneapolis, and its presence is what led to the violence.
Do you have no decency? We have someone dead in their car for no reason whatsoever.
Minnesota's Bureau of Criminal Apprehension says it will not be part of the FBI-led investigation, saying the FBI is blocking access to evidence, investigative interviews, and case materials.
Someone is fleeing. That is not a justification for the use of deadly force.
Retired ICE agent Eric Ballier took a close look at the video evidence and says it's up to the officer to stay calm.
She's trying to get around that vehicle, is what it appears to me. She has the steering wheel turned to the right, and she's trying to get away. I hate to say it, but you have to tune out the noise. You have to focus on your objective.
Renee Nicole Good leaves behind a wife and 3 children. Usher Qureshi, CBS News, Minneapolis.
Back here at home, Georgia lawmakers submitted their final recommendations on a plan that could eventually wipe out the state income tax. If that does happen, it would add more than 5% to the average worker's paycheck. State reporter Abby Kasource explains what could happen next.
This has not been an easy task.
Georgia lawmakers are pushing a plan that could change the way you pay or don't pay state income tax. Starting next year, the first $50,000 for single filers and $100,000 for married couples would be tax-free. Lawmakers say this would erase income tax bills for about 2/3 of working Georgians. The plan would be to keep cutting the tax down to zero by 2032. But it comes at a cost. $3 billion the first year, $6 billion the next. Committee Chairman Blake Tillery promises his plan won't increase the sales tax, grocery tax, or gas tax. Republicans say the state can cover it, first with budget surpluses, then by cutting about 10% of Georgia's corporate tax credits.
You've got families who are having a hard time paying for gas, groceries, and power, and you've got corporations that have been able to do just fine.
What's not clear yet, which tax breaks get cut and who feels that impact. There's no bill spelling that out. Tillery told reporters he suggests cutting credits for data centers, manufacturing, and the film industry. Democrats argue the state should stick to slower tax cuts already on the books.
Let's continue on the mode we're using. Let's go forward the way we've been doing until we get to where we want to be incrementally, as opposed to that one big step.
They also warn eliminating the income tax would still mean the biggest dollars go to the wealthiest Georgians.
Is that what the citizenry is calling for? Helping the rich get richer?
This debate comes as schools, child welfare agencies, prisons, and other state services say they're short-staffed and need more funding. Republican leaders push back, saying this is about fast relief from rising costs.
I hope this is not a moment in time where the Democrats are going to sit here and want to shout affordability in your TV commercials, but today we're going to vote against something that helps blue-collar, middle-class families that are seeking relief.
Similar tax cuts are already happening in states like Kentucky, adding pressure as Georgia lawmakers head back into session.
Abby Kasource, Atlanta News First.
And staying in state news, President Donald Trump is seeking more than $6 million from the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. In a motion filed yesterday in the Fulton County Superior Court, President Trump says the money would be to cover his attorney fees and litigation costs in the recently dismissed election indictment. Willis was accused of having an improper relationship with a private attorney she had hired to work on the case. The president says he's entitled to the compensation under a new Georgia law, which allows criminal defendants to recover expenses when prosecutors are dismissed for misconduct. Fulton County Commission Chair Rob Pitt says any money owed and paid will come from the DA office's operating budget funded by Fulton County taxpayers. Well, with flu numbers continuing to rise here in Georgia, local health departments are trying to get ahead. 6 counties across our area are offering free flu vaccines for anyone 6 months and older who don't have health insurance. The Georgia Department of Public Health says that more than 1 in 8 of all emergency room visits across the state are patients with flu symptoms, already surpassing last year's peak. A spokesperson for the Coastal Health District said it's important if you do come down with the flu to do your best to stay away from others.
It's a virus. If someone does come into the office and they're not feeling well, then soon it may impact more than just that one employee. You may see it spread all the way across your office place. And so it is important to think about the larger picture when you're looking at something like flu or any other respiratory illness. And it's important when people are sick that they have the option to stay home if at all possible.
Yeah, we've had it going around here at WTOC as well. On a personal note, if I sound a little hoarse, I'm actually recovering from the flu. I've heard that it's a different strain, different mutation this year, which makes it a little bit rougher in some ways. But that's why I was out the last 2 days, if you're wondering why Joe and Mackenzie were filling in for me on Tuesday and Wednesday. But feeling better. Maybe don't sound the best, though, so I apologize if my voice is a little hoarse this afternoon. In South Carolina, the state health officials have confirmed a child from the upstate has died from the flu this season. This is the first child to die from the flu, as the Department of Public Health in South Carolina says 25 people in that state have died from it as well as of January 3rd. Health officials say the flu is widespread right now across the state and that the flu shot is the best protection against it. Experts say it takes about 2 weeks for your body to build up protection once you do get that vaccination. Well, Tybee Island has announced a new online parking decal system that allows residents and visitors to purchase decals online. Applicants will need to provide vehicle information, upload a copy of current registration, and complete a payment online. Once processed, applicants will receive a confirmation email. The decals are valid for 1 year from the date of purchase. A virtual decal entitles you to park in any legal space on the island, and they're valid for 1 year after the date of purchase. We do have more information about the different types of decals, including senior discount decals. That's on our website right now at WTOC.com. All right, cat riders, listen up. A big portion of CAT's funding from Chatham County is now on the chopping block. State Senator Derek Mallow and Chatham County Commission Chairman Chester Ellis both decided on changes to the Chatham Area Transit Board. Ellis was calling that board, quote, unconstitutional. Ellis said the two worked to get a solution to reverse a law restructuring CAT's board to reduce the county's representation on it. He says he's pulling CAT funding if potential changes from lawmakers don't happen.
2 or 3 of the commissioners told me that they think it's off the table, that he's not going to be able to carry it through because he's not going to get the support he needs to carry it through.
Mallow's proposal can be brought up as soon as January 12th when the state legislature begins. If the changes that Chairman Ellis is asking for don't pass, it could mean trouble for the county's funding, which is set to be pulled on July 1st. It's not just the rich heritage and historic atmosphere that keep visitors coming to Savannah. Aside from tourism, the hostess city is also home to some pretty major industries. With nearly 13 million visitors coming to Savannah in 2024, local experts say this year is set to be another great year. Chatham County is the 5th largest county in the state, but the biggest economic leader. After a year dealing with inflation, tariffs, and concerns of a recession, experts with the University of Georgia and Georgia Southern say they predict things will be turning around.
The economy remains a sound long-term investment for people who are interested in building a business here, developing and growing their business, and for persons who are interested in finding employment opportunities here.
According to experts, Savannah's economy continues to be driven by tourism, shipping, and logistics tied to the port. The unemployment rate is expected to rise, and experts don't expect a recession, but they do see state and local governments spending slightly less this year. All right, a Savannah native and SCAD graduate is sharing what human connection looks like through the vibrant painted pieces she's creating. The Telfair Museum has chosen Julia Rowland as their Art 912 featured artist. The A Seat at the Table exhibition by Rowland is on display starting tomorrow at the Jepson Center. Rowland's pieces show expressive hairstyles, contrasting backgrounds, and shifting poses. She hopes the eye-catching art sends a message of community and belonging to visitors.
When I was coming up with the theme of this show, I was really just thinking about the different communities that I grew up in Savannah and my intersectionalities as a Black queer woman, and how everybody has kind of played a part in getting me to where I am. And I finally have this seat at the table in this awesome museum, and I want visitors, when they come into the space, to sort of make eye contact with my figures and feel like they have a place in this space.
Rowland's hosting an artist talk at 6 p.m. today at the Jepson Center, where she'll dive more into her art. All right, and that is going to wrap things up here for the news on WTOC Plus. We appreciate y'all spending part of your afternoon with us. We'll be back in just about 45 minutes with a very special exclusive preview of the Savannah Arts Academy hosting their 12th night production happening this weekend. We'll have a little bit of that play to showcase for you, one of Shakespeare's very well-known comedies. I was able to go out and preview it earlier this week during their Tech Week. It's really cool watching a group of high schoolers really make that funny and chaotic show come to life. I think that's the best way to describe it, but we'll have a very extended preview of that coming up in just about 45 minutes. And in the meantime, you can always head on over to our website to check the latest stories at WTOC.com. Thanks for watching, and here's Local News Live.